Why don't you put like this way?
Yeah, there may be more. So guys, when you guys use the marker on the board, it's a like angle is there. So use this angle. So it will work for longer time. So you guys will be keep coming on the board, so I'm just telling you guys.
Allah.
Which class? I mean,
C.
class C, right? And how we wrote this IP address? We used dots, right? Each group is separated by dots. So when we separate the octets using dot, we say it's a dotted decimal notation. The one way of writing the IP address is dotted decimal notation. The second way, see how many bits altogether we have. Now we have discussed in a good way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all together we have 24 bits here, right? And here we have 8 bits. So either we are writing in dotted decimal notation, first or 3 octets are representing the network portion. Wherever we have subnet mask 255, 255, 255. And here we have all ones. So if we are adding them, all together they are 24. So we can write this IP address like this as well. So 192, 168, 10.10/24. So if you guys will see IP address written like this, all like this, both are same. It's decimal notation and what we call this one?
Classless center domain routing.
So prefix notation. So we write the IP address in 2 ways. One is dotted decimal notation and the second is prefix notation. In prefix notation,
But if we put the prefix notation, it's going to accept it?
when you guys will be using the router and the switches and you will assign the IP addresses there, they accept it. But not all of the devices still supports all type of addresses, but few they accept it. And especially when in simulation, when you guys will configure your DHCP server, it always calculate in bits in prefix notation. You guys put you say okay 16 bits and it calculates itself. Okay, I will go with this 255 255. So over here we just counts the ones in our subnet mask. If always in subnet mask the network portion is represented by ones and the host portion represented by zeros. So if we say, and it will be in in continuous form. contiguous form. All zeros, ones are in contiguous form. But if we have all over here, if I see 0 instead of 1, is it my network portion? No. So then network portion will be up to this maximum, and from onward we have host portion. So if all the ones we have on the left side and it's continuous ones, it means it's a network portion, and where the digit gets changed, it's a host portion. So we can just calculate how many these ones are. Those are the network IDs, and if the 0 gets started, it's a host portion of the IP address, no matter what the class is. Now we are gradually moving towards classless IP address over here. Otherwise, we are using now classless. There are some programs they still don't understand the classless CIDR. They don't support CIDR. Where we have to go with classful IP addresses. And yesterday I heard from some guy here, when we can go classless, why we are still learning about the classful. I don't know who was saying. So the thing is, still there are programs who are stick with these classful IP addresses. As since inception, when we started IT, and there were 16-bit programs still up there. Applications are still there. So Microsoft and other vendors, when they come up with any new product, they keep for those applications in mind, and they build their any product like this so they can support the legacy things. So 16-bit sports is still there. So in the in the IP addresses, there are some programs they will get introduced when we were dealing with classful IP addresses. So they don't understand CIDR. So we have to understand classful IP addresses as well. So this portion, dotted decimal notation, this way. And if we are saying all ones are representing, all ones on the left side representing the network portion of the IP, and the right portion representing the host IP addresses, then what? If right now I break down my network here, right? I put 0 here. What if then how I will represent that? In this third octet, I'm using 2 bits for network. I'm giving to the network, and the rest I'm giving to the host. It means I'm breaking my network here now. So it cannot be this number then, 255. It should be something else then, right? 255 means it's masking the whole octet. We cannot use this octet anymore for the host IP. The whole 8 bits in this octet are dedicated for network side, network portion. So now we are breaking it down. Then when we do that, we call it a subnetting. Now we are breaking our classful IP addresses. Now we are making from one network more networks, right? So we are breaking down our network into multiple chunks. As he gave a very good example. So he said, we have 4, right? These are the 4 octet. In class A, we have first 8 bits for network, and the rest we have for
Host.
all of them for host. And now if I need to break it down more, then what I will do, I can give only this much portion to the network, right? And I'm adding other remaining bits into host side. So, or I can go like this. Instead of using this much portion, I can say, okay man, I'm using this much portion for the network, and the remaining are the host now, right? So we are now playing with the bits, and to understand that, we need to understand this thing. So most of the time the guys, professional guys, always type the IP addresses like this: 24 bits, 22 bits, 21 bits. So they don't need to be confused with these numbers, right? So in the beginning, if we are understanding, we need to break it down, and how we break it down using our same formula. Why I'm stick with that? There are multiple ways to do the things, but if we are following only one method, it will be easier. As Andy has formula, right? So he is following his own formula for everything. So it's easier for him. So if we are using the same binary conversion table for our class, we will be able to understand easily, right? So that's the easiest way basically. So what we have, what the formula is? 1, 2, 4. Man, I'm talking in silence, man.
1, 2,
You are
4,
not
8,
helping
16,
me.
You said I shouldn't speak.
32, 64.
You spoke a lot.
64, 128.
I'm not typical teacher. My way is not typical. I always like just, I'm here. If I know something, I should share. And we believe in these things, right? So remember, if you have something before dying, convey it to others before dying. And when we can die, anytime. So start, conveying the knowledge, transferring your knowledge today. So, Nawaz sir, onward you are not going to hesitate. Onward you are not going to hesitate. Come here. Inshallah. Okay, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, right? Five departments or 5 rooms. We have this network available. How many IPs I have there in this network? Host IPs? There. We have this network available. My manager said, you have this network, right? 192.168.100.0/24. How many host IPs are available there in this network? One IP, host IP.
For the server?
See,
For the host?
yeah. So I have 24 bits. 24 bits are these, right? And this 8 bits are for host. So network and host.
So by the way, can you explain what is network and what's host and what's different, and can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So Simon, we have this room, right? For example, this room number is room 4, and we are sitting. How many people are sitting here? 2, 4, 9 right now. And if we go with the number of pieces, we have around 17, 18, right? So if all of us belongs to this room, right? The guy, if Murli sitting in the office, he will talk about us. What he will say? My IT class, IT class is going on in room number 3 or 4, right? In room number 4 for IT class. And now in the meanwhile, now they know each other easily. They understand, okay, what is going on in room 4. They can just represent all of us with room 4, right? With one number. When they talk about us, if they are saying, okay, room number 4 is going on, these things are going on there, they are talking about the whole, all of us, right? And then they say, okay, in room number 4, Simon is playing really good role, right? In his class. He's participating a lot. So then, he's talking about you. But where you belong to? This room, right? Now he's saying, okay, Frank is helping him out. In room 4, Frank always helps Simon. Now again, another individual that belongs to same room, room 4. They are not saying Frank is going to the account class and helping out there, right? The same room. If they are talking about Andy, Andy belongs to same room, room number 4. So in numbers, we always go. See, if the third, we are saying, okay, this is our room number. These third octave, 3 octaves, first 3 octaves, 192, 168, 100. It's our room number. Room number 4. And the rest, I am giving 0 here. So I'm saying from 0 to 255. So this much guys belongs to this room and they are individuals. Simon, Andy, Frank, Jun, Amin, and then the first is same. Room 4 is same. This one is changing. If this one is changing, one portion is changing and the one is constant, it means it is telling us all belongs to this room. Right? Living within this room, we have individuals. Those individuals are hosts. Let me bring again his example. He said this is a room, right? Now we are breaking up this room in multiple chunks, right? Is it out of the room? Belongs to the same room, right? Belongs to the same room. Same room. So they belong to the same room. So I can say this room is my 192, 168, 100. Altogether, this one is this. I'm going to represent this whole room with these numbers. So it will remain constant. I'm not going to change my room number every day, right? So they know everyone who is coming. If you guys are finishing the course, few of you guys, you are leaving and few others are coming. What is changing? This portion is changing. The guys who are sitting inside, they are changing. This room is not going to change. Some guys are leaving and some are coming. Who are leaving, they are leaving their spot. And who are joining the class, they are coming to the same room. So this number will remain constant. So in our network, when we create the networks, we say, okay, these 17 pieces will belong to this network. So to understand, okay, which network these guys belongs to, there should be some name or there should be some number. As this one is a room name, room 4, and IT class. IT class is the name, and room 4 is the number. So it represents us. So it will keep representing this number. We are dedicating this number to this room, and within this room, names are different. Somewhere Sayyid Saab is sitting, Nawaz is sitting, Andy is sitting, Saurabh is sitting, and if and June is leaving the class, No more. He's saying, okay, man, this is not good class for me. I'm going to join the health class. No, he's changing his network, right? He's going there. Maybe from there, some guy is coming to our class. They love IT. So now that guy will be come and fit in this room. The number will remain constant. So tell the guys, okay, this number is always constant. We use our default subnet mask or default subnet mask. When we see this number, okay, we cannot change this number. This is for room number. It's a IT class. So this portion fixed. So now the rest is we have 0. We are saying, okay, man, this 0 is telling me I can go for 256 IP addresses. So all 256 IP addresses will belong to this network portion, this network. So if I'm changing one, I have 192.168.100.0 and with IP address is 255 subnet mask 255.0 and this one means it's fixed network, right? And I can change over here from 0 to 255. I can go 0 to 255 any number. And now if I have 192.168.101.0 and again I have 24 bit, I can write these 3 octet in this way as well, right? 88824. The fourth 8 is per host. So here network is same or no? Simon? Is it the same network?
Yeah.
Here I have 100 and here I have 101 with the same subnet mask. It means no, this network is a different network. This can be the name accounting class and room number 5. Right? The number we cannot change. It's 101 now. Over here it's 100. It's a different network and this one is a different network. Now all the hosts will belong to that room, right? If we want to talk to that room, we need to go there. And they want to talk to us, they need to come here. But we are sitting within the room. Do we need to go anywhere? We can talk to each other easily, right? We all belong to one class and they belong to another class. So this one is a network portion in IPs and the host portion we say. So how we can identify these guys belongs to IT class and those guys belongs to accounting class? How we can identify? By using some common numbers, right? So there we are assigning them room number 5, over here room number 4. They belong to room 4, we belong to room 5. Within that room, guys can get changed every time. The guys are coming and going out, right? More confusing or good to go? Understand? So may have a break to map our private IP addresses to public IP addresses, right? The stream subnetting that was another solution. So we can get as maximum IP addresses utilization of the maximum IP addresses within any range. For example, we were taking the example of this one 192.168.100.0 class C IP address, 24 subnet mask, and how many IP addresses? 256, right? Maximum. So if we have 256 IP addresses and in this room we need only 20 IP addresses or maybe 25 IP addresses. So how many IP addresses we are wasting? Around 225, right? Or 230. So we are wasting those IP addresses by going with this network. So we can break it down. For example, if this college has 5 rooms, as I said, 5 departments, and each room needs around 20, 25 or 30 IP addresses. So instead of going with the 192.168.100, then 101, 102, 103, right? Instead of going that and using in each network 256 IP addresses and wasting a lot, right? Utilizing only 20 to 30 IP addresses, and the rest we are wasting in each and every network. If we have, for example, 192.168.100.0, then 101.0. So Simon, how many IP addresses we have here for hosts? Yeah, 256 for all total IP addresses available in this network, 256, right? Here again, 256, 256, 256, 256. And we need only 20 to 30 IP addresses per room, right? So the rest we are wasting there, around 225 IP addresses we are wasting here. Instead of using these 4 blocks of IP addresses, we can use only this one block and we can break it down into 5 blocks, right? We can create chunks of one network of 5 chunks, right, of one network. When we say it's a 256 IP addresses available in one network, for example 192.168.100.0, 192.168.100.0, and what can be the last one? 192.168.100.255, right? So these are the IP addresses we may have: 192.168.100.1, 192.168.100.2, and then 192.168.100.254, right? So up till 100, the number is same for each and every device. We are assigning this IP address to one device. The first 3 octets are same. The 4th one is changed. Second device, we are using the same first 3 octets, and the 4th one is changed. Then keep going, right, up till 255. So the number is, the last octet is getting changed. The first 3 are constant. Why they're constant? We are using 24 subnet mask, 24-bit subnet mask. 24-bit means 255, 255, 255.0. So first 3, 24, right? So if we are saying it's 24 all the way down, then we have first 3 digits we are not going to change. The 4th is getting changed. Always in any network, as we said, this one is a room. We need one ID for this room, right? This network, room 4 ID, right? So first IP of the network we use for network ID. We always say it's a network ID. From this IP address we recognize this one is a network. So 192.168.100.0 will be the network ID for this network. For now, from 0 we cannot assign to any host. Host means computers, the clients who are we are going to assign the IP address this one is a host, this one is a host. So each machine is a host. So these hosts we are assigning the IP addresses from them 1 to 250, 255. As we said, one network ID each and every network has, right? The last IP address we use for broadcast ID. So this one is for broadcast. It's a broadcast ID. The last one. And the remaining 1 to 254 we can assign to hosts. That's why we say always it's 250 in 24-bit IP address. We may have only 254 IP available to hosts. So hosts IP will be always, if we have 256 minus 2. One for network ID, one for broadcast ID. What is broadcast? What is broadcast, Frank? Nawaz?
I think broadcasting is like giving up the IPs to everyone. Something like that.
Broadcast means it's for the outer. I think so. It's for outer world. For outer world. Outer world. Broadcast. Not for the internal. It's for outer world.
Outer world?
Yeah, public.
These are VIPs. Wait. If Al-Walid didn't tell you, then please tell me. So Saurabh, please, what is broadcast?
Broadcast is basically used to introduce all the hosts in the network.
Andy?
I don't know.
So, if we are dedicating one IP address for broadcast, we have three types of communication. One is unicast, then we have multicast, and then we have, now what is broadcast, John? No, you are telling me, man. Oh. So unicast, me and Sayyid Sahab are talking, right? One-on-one conversation is going on. So it's a unicast conversation, communication, right? So one-on-one. And then multicast, one to many. And broadcast, one to all. So if me and Amin are talking to each other, it's unicast. I'm talking to him and he's replying back. He's asking me something and I'm replying back. So it's one-on-one conversation is in process, right? So we say it's a unicast communication. And one to many means you guys turn on the TV, right? You are on one channel, then you guys are moving to the second channel. Multicast, one time they are sending the packets, right, for multicast groups. whoever will join that group, he will get the message. He will start receiving those frequencies, right? Whatever they are sending drama, TV, whatever the movie you guys are watching, right? What you guys do, you guys just change the channel and join that group. Specific frequencies coming to our TVs, they are sending, and we are start receiving by joining that group. If we are not joining that group, we are not getting anything, right? So they are sending for everyone in a group. They are creating a group and sending to everywhere. But who will join that group, he will receive the message. So it's one to many at the same time. Not everyone on the globe is using the same TV channel. Everyone is using different channels at a time. So if I'm using CP24, maybe at that time 10 of you guys maybe are using the same CP24 watching so we are in one group. We have joined one group. As you on your social media, you have created your own groups, right? One is sending the message and multiple people are receiving. What's WhatsApp? We create a group and then we start communicating. One is sending and 20 members or 24 members or 100 members are receiving the message, right? Now another is sending and then one group of people are receiving the message. So it's one to many, not all. And broadcast one to all. I'm now talking to you guys. I'm broadcasting, right? So you guys are just listening. And if I'm start talking only up till Andy and Amin, the right side of the class, and they are not listening, it's a one to many. Within a class, one to many, not all. But all means everyone is listening. And why this network need this IP address, broadcast IP?
It's used to collect the MAC address of the nodes.
Yeah. One usage is to get the MAC address. We will talk later. But the thing is, there are occasions when this machine have to send the message to everyone. Right? So then if this machine is sending to message everyone, this machine will use this IP address as a destination IP. In OSI model, we were talking about in a frame or the whole frame, we have source MAC, destination MAC, source IP, destination IP, those things, right? Then if this guy, the one who has this IP address, host 1 having IP 1 is sending the message to its unicast, right? And if it's using, then the destination IP will be 192.168.100.2. Source IP will be 100.1. Destination will be this. And when this guy, the number 1 having IP address 1, wants to send the message to everyone, then this guy will use this IP as a destination IP, it's a broadcast IP. It means everyone belongs to this group will receive the message. Now it depends on the recipient, either it's keeping the message or discarding the message, right? But he is using to send, he is calling everyone. So every network needs one identity. So network ID and one broadcast ID, they can use one common IP address that every member of the group, every member of the network can use to send the message to everyone. If he wants to send the message to everyone without this broadcast ID, how many packets it needs to send? 253, right? One itself and then 253 packets needs to send. But using this, it's sending only one packet. And that packet is going to everyone. They are receiving the packet and okay, this packet belongs to me or not. It's another thing, right? We will talk later. But each network has one network ID and one broadcast ID. And the remaining IPs available in that network are hosts ID. Host IP we can assign to our hosts.
So by the same way, in the broadcast ID, if you send one packet to one broadcast ID, he will do the same thing. He will send it to all, so he will send all packets. Yeah?
Who will send?
If from one, I send to a broadcast ID that I want to send a packet, because I want to send it to everyone. The broadcast ID will do the same. He will send the packet to everyone.
Right, broadcast ID means we have one common address, right? We are creating a group that is grouping all of the members in one group, and we are using that address to send everyone. Okay, if I'm using this IP as a destination, send to everyone, and if we are not going to assign this IP to anyone who can reply back. No, it's a one-way thing, right? So it's a one-way. Any host within this network can use this IP address to send the message to the group, right? It means we in WhatsApp we have created the group. What the behind is, we are using one address for all of them. So if we are clicking for group, my WhatsApp is sending the message to everyone, right? Belongs to that group. And if I'm using one by one conversation, I can just click one guy and will send the message. So, but if I'm sending to the group, when group guy will reply, he again will using the same thing, right? But the broadcast IP is not replying back. It's not replying back. The other guy is using the same IP to send the message again.
No, but what I mean, the mechanism itself, the broadcast ID to send to all of them.
Yeah.
It will be a pocket for everyone.
Yeah, for packet for everyone.
But you will not see it because that particular host will reply. It will not come back from the broadcast.
So here the broadcast is to all the 254 hosts, right?
Yeah.
And so how about the class list for like example 5 departments? So if we use a broadcast, all the 5 departments they receive the.
Good question.
Yeah.
Really good. So when we are breaking it down into 5, then when we are calculating, okay, we need 30 IP addresses. We will go at least for 32 IPs. We will divide this group into having 32 IPs instead of 30. I need 16 IPs exact, right? For example, always +2. So one for network ID, one for broadcast ID. So then each network will have one network ID and one broadcast ID, and remaining for the hosts. Any question? Did you understand broadcast?
Yeah, if you say broadcast one to all, like TV or radio,
That is
they
the radio or the TVs. They usually use multicast. The thing is,
but all the radio and TV, they say they are broadcasting.
they are broadcasting. They are broadcasting the message, but the thing is, everyone is not receiving. It's good. It's always confusion there. So they are broadcasting a thing, but where they are broadcasting, everyone is not receiving that message. Everyone is not getting that message. Only that device gets the message who is joining their channel. I'm listening a radio. If I'm not turning on the radio, I'm not receiving the message at all. Right? My radio is not receiving the message. As I will turn on the radio and I will set my radio on some proper frequency, then my radio will start receiving the message. It means now I'm joining some specific group, right? who are all others are receiving the same message, I'm receiving the same. But for that, I'm going to join a group. So if everyone is listening the message, then it's a broadcast. There are examples in broadcast as well. We have meeting rooms, different places. We use broadcast as well. So in TVs, in radios, it depends how we are transmitting the data. We can use multi IPs and we can use the broadcast IPs. Depends. So mostly when we are working in the companies as a system administrators or those things, we are going to deal with only unicast IP addresses, right? We are always one-on-one talk. But if we are setting up the meeting rooms and those things, then we might have to go for multicast or broadcast. So, Waleed, you said 192, this guy is sending, for example, PC1 is sending one message, right? Its IP address is .1. Now it's sending the message to everyone. Or first sending the message PC2 whose IP address is .2, right? 100.1 and 100.2. Now this guy is sending the message to all 253 guys other than him, right? So it's a broadcast. Now it's if it's 101, the source IP is 100.1 and destination IP is 100.2. But if it's sending to everyone, source IP will remain the same, 100.1, and then destination IP 100.255. Now you are saying when the packet will get replied, what will be the destination IP, right? If this guy is going message, this IP says sending the message to everyone in the network. Now this guy PC2 is replying back to PC1. Or if it's replying back to only PC1, it's a unicast, right? But if this guy wants to send the message again to 53 guys, now source IP will be 100.2 its IP, and the destination IP will be 100.255. When you are broadcasting the message, the destination IP will remain 255, 100.255.
This is not my question. My question is the first one. You said, okay, 100.1 send a broadcast, so he will send it to 10.255.
Yeah.
Then 255 wants to send it to all of them.
Yeah.
So he will do a full packet to each one of them. So the source IP will be the 10.255.
No, source will
no.
remain the same.
No, from 10 to 55.
No,
Yeah.
so it will stay the same. The source IP will stay 100.1.
To send it to whom? To 10, to 2, to 100, to
everyone.
Everyone. This is,
Everyone.
you are saying, okay, you mean to say we are taking a packet, I'm a PC1, I'm having a packet, and I'm handing over to John, that is 255.
Yes.
And now 255 is taking the packet and sending all of you guys.
Yes.
It's not the case.
No.
Okay.
It's not the case. It means when the network, our system knows if the packet having the destination IP 255, it's for whole network, it's a broadcast IP. Okay, it make the sense, okay, send the packet to everyone.
So it's your network card just sent.
So it's network capability. Device will receive this message, it will send to everyone. Broadcast to everyone. Usually broadcast where happens? On switches. And what switch does? It receives the packet to its source port and its switch capability to broadcast the address. So switch understand, okay, if the IP address is this with MAC address, right? It only understand MAC. So it will send to the specific guy. But if it's for everyone, it's attached with the broadcast, it's sending to everyone. Okay. This switch capability. This guy itself is nothing, right? It's for, we are creating an address for a group of people. So it's saying for everyone, this will be the address. Okay, if you guys will receive this message, okay, send to everyone.
Like, for the max, it's X.
I want to assign the IP addresses to my host, but you guys are not.
Not letting those guys are waiting for IP addresses.
See, everyone has stopped working, waiting for, okay, the machines have IP addresses so they can communicate. Without IPs, they cannot.
Yeah, I was well, just a quick brain teaser. I was not brain teaser, but a joke. So I'm training guys at the office. They're new hires, and there's only 2 guys. They're putting the customer on hold and start asking questions. Like, okay, why? Why does this happen? And why does this happen? I'm like, first solve the problem, and then we will discuss about it. He's like, no, why is this happening? Why is this happening?
No, that's fine, that's fine. See, his question, the lead question is now irrelevant. We are talking about that topic, and whatever the question regarding to that topic we are discussing right now is not irrelevant. It's relevant. It makes more sense to the class, the rest of the people as well. Yeah, if I'm teaching broadcast and he's asking me about some router's functionality or something else by stopping me, right, then it's irrelevant at that time. Very frankly, either it's related to our topic, whole course, but it's irrelevant at that time. That we can, pull the legs off our class, right? Don't go ahead. So, 5 departments, and every department needs 25 IP addresses. They have 24 PCs. And we have this network. We can request our networking guys, okay man, we have 5 departments. You are giving us only one network. Please give us 4 more networks. And the guy, if we are on the same skills level, stupid level, then he will give us 100, 101, 101, 102, 103, 104. So he will be giving us 5, right, networks. And we will be wasting all of the IP addresses. So if some Andy is sitting in networking site, intelligent guy, what he will do? He will, okay man, you have this one, right? So let me break it down. You need only 25 PCs, you have 25 PCs in each network. You don't need 256 IPs. I can have 5 times 25 in this, right? In this range, in this network. Why should I give him 101, 102, 103, 104? He will break it down into 5 groups. And for breaking it down, we are going to use our same binary conversion table. When we were converting our decimal to binary, what we did, we asked a question, right? So this number is greater than this or not? So here, can we get 25 IP addresses from here?
Yes, please.
Yes, of course, right? But how many network we will get here? 5 or not? No, right? Before moving that, let me come with one formula. Whenever we break down our network, we borrow the bits from host site. As I said earlier, if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, right? And then 0, 0, 0. So now I'm saying it's 24 bits here and 8 bits are here. And IP address is 256. If I want to break it down, what I will do it? I'm thinking I have too much IP addresses here. I need to get some out of it, right? So I will increase this size and will decrease this portion. Then I'm gonna get the lesser IP address in one network. So if I will borrow 1 bit from here, if I'm adding here 1, now my network host portion is 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now if host portion is this, now my network portion has 25 bits, right? And now my host portion, how many bits? 7 bits. How many IP addresses? 128.
No.
Please, who said no?
Yes.
Thank you for changing from no to yes. So over here, I borrowed 1 bit and I left remaining bits are 7. Remaining bits are for host portion, right? So always remaining bits for host and the borrowing bits for network. Or subnetting. We do subnetting by borrowing the bits. Here we borrowed 1 bit. In this case, we always go with one formula n to the power of borrowing bits. Over here 1. N is borrowed bits. So n to the power of how many here? 1. Two to the power of n, sorry. 2 to the power of n, and n is borrowed bits. If we are borrowing only 1 bit, 2 to the power of 1. How many? 2. 2 to the power of 1, answer is 2. So if we are borrowing 1 bit, we are going to get 2 networks, not 5 networks. Remaining bits, in this case, we have 7. And for calculating the hosts, we use another formula, that is 2 to the power of m minus 2. And m is remaining bits. So 2 to the power of 7 minus 2, it means 128 minus 2. 126. So if we borrow 1 bit, no doubt we may have 25 IP addresses from this bit. We are borrowing 1 bit. But we are achieving 126 IPs and 2 networks. Our goal is 5 networks with 25 host IP addresses for each network, right? So we cannot achieve our goal here, then move forward, right? We can achieve 25 PCs from here as well, right? From 64. But again, then what will be the case? How many bits we are borrowing? Over here, if I'm borrowing up till this, 2 bits, right? And 2 to the power of 2, how many? 4. So it will be 4 networks, and remaining bits will be 2 to the power of 6 minus 2. So 64 minus 2, 62. So these will be hosts. So we have still more than enough hosts there, but we are getting only 4 networks, not 5 networks. But if I get 25 from here, now I am borrowing 3 bits. 3 bits means 2 to the power of 3, 8. So 8 networks, and 2 to the power of 5 minus 2, how many? 32 minus 2, right? So 30 IPs. But I cannot get 25 from here, right? 16. So I will have to stay here. This number. So it's the number I can get the networks, 5 networks and 25 IP addresses for each network, right? So when I'm getting this one, my network will start depend on this number now. I borrowed 3 bits. Before I had 24. 3 bits I'm adding to my network side. All will be 1, 1, 1 now instead of zeros. 24, 25, 26, 27. Now my network will be 27 bits. So 192, 168, 100.0/27. This one is my first network. Or I can write it like this. If I want to go with dotted decimal notation, what I need to do, I need to add these 3 borrowed bits. 128, 164, 192, 32 to 24. I can write this as like this as well. So 255, 255, 255. Now before it was 0. Now it will be 224. Either we are writing in prefix notation by slash at 27 or like this. My number is this, right? 32. First is 0. The second, what I will be get? 192, 168, 100.32, right? 0 plus 32, 32, right? Then the next 100.32 plus 32, 64, 27. And the next will be 96, right? And then after 96, 128. Then it will be 128, then 160, then 192, then 224. That's it, right? So we will have 8 networks now. If I take the first example, 192.168, so 192.168.100.0/27, it means it will be the network ID, right? 192.168.100.1 and then 192.168.100.31, 192.168.100.30. This will be the broadcast ID, and from 1 to 30 there will be host ID, right? The next will start from 32. The second network will be 192.168.100.32. It will be a network ID. Then 192.168.100.33 to 192.168.100.62 and then 192.168.100.63. It will be broadcast, and from here to here host IPs, right? Then from 64 to 95 will be the next, and 96 to onward will be the third, and keep going, right? So now we have broken down our one network into 5 networks, and in each network we will have network ID and the broadcast ID. So then if it's /27 or in dotted decimal notation 224, 224 tells me, okay man, now you don't have the whole octet available for host IPs, right? Your subnet mask is different. All bits are not available for hosts. You have lesser bits available for host IP addresses. And how can but just by looking at this, how can I understand, man, which network this IP will belong? First, before it was 0, and from 0 to 256, the whole network was, right? 0 was the network ID, 255 was the broadcast ID, but it's not the case now. Now I have 8 networks, and with 8 networks I am typing 224, 224, 224, 255, 255, 245, 224, right? So therefore that I will have to come to my formula. When you will see this number 224, come here and start adding up from this side. 128, 64, 192, 192, 32, 224. I'm getting 224 up till this number. So my network comes from here. So 0 to 31, 32 to 63, 64 to 95, like that, right? So I will start from 0 and will keep moving forward. 0 plus this number. Then whatever I'm getting the number, plus again 32. The same with this number. Then plus the same number. So for every new number after adding 32 will be the new network ID. And rest we can easily calculate, right, in between. And if I'm looking, I will see the IP address written like this, the network 27, again calculate, okay, where 27 fall. First we have 3 octet, 8, 8, 8, 24. Then comes here, okay, 25, 26, 27. Again I am getting this number. Now I will start calculating, okay, 0, 32, 64, 96, 220, 128, 160, 192, 224, right? Like that, keep going. So I have these network IDs. Question.
Why don't we use class A?
This is the class.
Very dangerous question.
You done with this, right?
Yeah, almost.
Okay. So I actually missed some part because I was like full sleepy. So 27 bit you got it from 24 bit plus 3 bit.
Yeah.
That was 27 bit. Right?
We borrowed bits from the host portion.
Can you explain from that part? From this part?
This one?
Right, yeah, from that part.
Yeah. What should I explain?
He's asking is 192.168.100.0. Then how did you got the second part is
32?
32.
Yeah.
So, what you were with me when I was calculating, right?
Yes.
The
So
bits.
this is pretty easy, right?
So I need to borrow 3 bits.
Okay.
3 bits means first I had 24 bits here,
Okay.
and then I'm borrowing 3, it's 27.
Okay.
When I'm going, okay, 24, 25, 26, 27. 27, I'm finding over here, 32. So all the numbers will come up. I will start from 0 and we will keep adding 32 for every new network.
Okay.
First will be 0, second will be 32, 32 plus 32, 64. 64 plus 32, 96. 96 plus 32, 128, right? So I will keep adding up 32.
Okay.
After 224, if I will add 32 again, it will be 256, where I cannot go, right? So 256 means 255 I will be broadcast ID for that network, and 256 should be a new network that I cannot have, right? So 224 will be the last network ID. When we are breaking down from 1 to 8 networks over here, and 255 will be the broadcast ID of the last network. Got it or no?
You continue. We'll discuss later on.
No, no. And then 224, we added these numbers. The borrowed bits, we add borrowed bits. 192, 128, 64, 192 and 224. If I want to write in dotted decimal notation, I will write like this. I will add or sum up the borrowed bits, and will, instead of 0, I will write that over here in subnet mask. It will be my subnet. It will let me know, okay, what the subnet is. Now, if I have this subnet mask, I can come here, calculate where I am getting this number. That number is my making the network one.
Okay.
And if I'm writing like this, I'm coming there as well, right? So I'm going there 32, and then
So,
breaking.
25 bits. So 25 bits that, and then 26, 27, 28. That's how it works.
See, first we had 24 bits,
Okay.
and the full octet was available for host IPs.
Okay.
Then we borrowed 1 bit. When we borrowed 1 bit, we had 24 bits in network ID, and 7 bits we had in our host ID now, host portion. We came up with the formula 2 to the power of n. N is borrowed bits.
Okay.
If we are borrowed only 1 bit, how many networks we can get?
2.
2 networks, right? Our target was 5 networks. And then remaining bits are 7. So 2 to the power of 7, 128 total host IP addresses, but minus 2 for network ID and broadcast ID. 2 to the power of m minus 2, m is remaining bits. So 2 to the power of 7 minus 2, 128 minus 2, 126.
Okay.
So we may have, if we are going to borrow 1 bit, we may have 2 networks. Instead of 1, we are breaking down into 2 networks, but in each network, the 126 IPs will be available to assign the hosts. We don't need from 126, and we are not achieving our target of 5 networks. So we will keep moving, right? We borrowed 2 bits.
Okay.
Then we borrowed 3 bits. At 3 bits, we noticed, okay, 2 to the power of 3, it's giving us 8 networks. And the remaining bits, the 3 and plus 5, 8 total bits are 2 to the power of 5 remaining bits minus 2, 32 minus 2, 30. I can get 25 IP addresses from here. I can get 5 networks easily from here, right? But if I will go over here, I cannot achieve 25 PCs target, right? Then 25 hosts will not be available. Over here it will be only 14 hosts will be available, right? 16 minus 2. So I will stick over here. I will have 3 network extra, but I'm achieving over here. I cannot achieve over here, I cannot achieve over there my target. It's the ideal number. So then it's making my networks now. 0 first network, 32 second network, and then keep adding up 32. Every in the new network will be the host network ID, and then the last IP in that network will be the broadcast ID, and the middle ones for hosts.
In that case, it's only for that 5. Those examples are only for those 5 PCs.
Bit confused? Pardon?
That example you have explained is only for the 5 departments.
Yeah.
So it's different if you will give us another.
For example, if I'm borrowing 1 bit, I need 2 networks, right? I need 2 networks, I need 100 IPs in each network. I can go here. So 0 will be my first network ID and 128 will be the second network ID. So 0 to 127 will make one network, 128 to 255 will be the second network. And what I will write in decimal notation? 128, right? So I borrowed only 1 bit. I will put that bit instead of 224. From where 225 is coming? Making all the borrowed bits together, right? So I'm borrowing only 1 bit, so 128 will be here. And here will be 25. 24 I have in first 3 octets, the 4th I'm getting from there, right? 1 bit I'm borrowing. So it will be 25 if I'm writing in prefix notation. The IP address is from 0 to 127. 0 will be network ID, 127 will be broadcast ID, and from 1 to 126 will be for host IPs. And again 128 to 255. 128 will be network ID, then 255 for broadcast ID, and 129 to 254 will be host IPs.
So we have 5 departments, right? So we need 5 switch, right? 1 router.
Why 1?
1 router.
One router.
Router.
Yeah, you can add router.
5 switch. 1 router, right?
1 router, yeah. We need router if we want them to talk to each other. If we don't want them, we want to isolate, we keep them isolated. We don't need any router.
Yeah, each department we need 1 switch, right?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Your question is not belong to this. No, I'm just kidding.
Why don't we use the same IP address in one?
What did you ask and what I answered? I'm 100% sure half of the class did not get, but you got it. That's it. That's the point.
Okay, my question is related to his question. So now we talk about 5 departments. We can use 5 switch and 1 router. But if it's 5 small companies, so in that case we have 5 routers.
Oh, 5 companies doesn't need to break it down, right? Every company can use the same IP addresses separately, right? They don't need to break it down into the 5 networks, right? If they are under the same administration and we want to use the same 1 network and breaking down into 5, we want to live in the same range of the IP addresses, that's the case. Otherwise, the 5 companies are not going to sit together and break their network down, right, into multiple chunks. They don't need to. Every company has its own entity. They are different entities, and if they have alliance, then they can sit together and then they can design okay. When the bigger companies merge, for example, one company buy another company, or maybe the 2 companies are going to make the business together, then always they define the networks by sitting on the same table. They design first because they cannot afford the same IPs in one environment, the same IP in the second environment. Just to avoid the confusion, they will work perfectly fine. They will be good to go, but just to avoid the confusion and for the better management, they always sit together and then they design and plan. So it's planning part. So we will keep discussing on it tomorrow as well. We will come up with the more examples so better to understand. It's only one example, and subnetting it's not easy thing. The guys who are working for years and years in the companies might be most of them don't have understanding for subnetting. They are just getting the IP addresses from the pool and they keep assigning it.
So you mean this farm networks, right? So if every department want to get the internet, they need 5 routers.
No,
one.
You don't need 5 routers.
No, you don't necessarily need the 5 switches as well.
Yeah.
Can
One
you-
router can do the 5
Yeah, yeah.
departments, right?
We will
Maybe even the switch.
gradually we will be there.
You're just jumping.
Gradually we will be there. So as you said class, why we didn't take class A, class B? To understand first, it's the best class, class C. After having the concept, it's easy to break the other classes as well. But we will do that in CCNA class.
So we are not doing CCNA now? We are doing CCNA now.
Almost, because I always spend time on this thing. It's really important. The rest protocols, those things, you guys can Google and get the idea, right? It's not big deal. But this, the subnetting is really important. IP addressing. So we are not using IP addressing only networking side. We are using on system side as well. So wherever we are, we have to come across these concepts. These concepts should be clear, very clear, crystal clear. So it avoids the troubleshooting. Really good if we have good grip on these concepts. So we will be always focusing the topics we need more. Are you sleeping, sir? In my boring class? How can I make it a fun?